Good morning, friends. This is Josh Hendry with Mr. Hen's Art Skills, and I'm working on my book, The Legend of Harapan. This is the original that I did in 2013 with some artwork in there. If you want a copy of this, you can get a free PDF of it on my website at MrHen.com. This is the origin story, and now we're working on kind of the present day first issue. So we're doing this with the group School for Visual Storytelling. I'm doing this with Jake Parker and Sean Crystal. This is my first two pages inspired by these first two thumbnails, and I've gotten a little bit of feedback on it. And the feedback that I received from one of the other writers and illustrators in the group was that I don't really understand what's going on until the last panel. So I think I might need to write out some things to sort of verbally describe what I would like to have happen, and then maybe through that be able to create a better page. So I'm going to do that in order to get there. So one of the things that we had a couple of weeks ago in class was the ability to write out a scene, and if I'm not mistaken, that might have been in week 3. Not 100% sure. Let's see. Publishing, story seeds, story structure, writing scenes. Oh, scene writing template. Yes. Alright. Where and when does the scene take place? Well, Winters Park. Okay, who's involved and what is their current belief system? Well, we got Caden. He believes, man. He believes Ringo is his way to a better life. Who else is involved? Well, I haven't even named any of his friends yet, so that kind of might be helpful. He's got the flight girl that's going to pass him some stuff, so what could we call her? Katie? No, his name's Caden. You can't call her Katie. Give me a good name. What's a good name? Comment below. I need a good name. So I'll put question mark girl. I know where a question mark is. Question mark girl. She's a flyer. She believes Ringo is awesome and just loves to play. Admires Caden. Okay. Well, he's gonna have to have another flyer, so that's a question mark. Usually a girl too, so we'll do that. Flyer. She comes from a rough family background. Let's do that. She's aggressive and tenacious. Okay. All right. See, he's going to have 4 water players. So, boy, I forgot what we call them. Swimmers. I think we call them swimmers if they're in the water. 2 boy swimmers. Love Ringo. Want to play for a school team, but no, they never will. Okay, got to buy girl swim. Actually, I think we got 3. Girl swimmers love Ringo. Loves Ringo. Knows all kinds of stats and history. So they should each probably have a favorite team, but I haven't made up all 12 teams yet. So they're going to be 12 pro teams in the story, but I haven't even made up those teams yet, I don't think. Maybe I have. I got to go back and look at my notes. What false belief anti-theme is still holding power over the protagonist? That everything works out easily when you are successful. How does the setting, character interactions, or dialogue reinforce? Because he is talented and receives praise from his peers, there is a swell of confidence in the idea that Ringo is a viable option for future success, maybe? I don't know. Surge of confidence. Additionally, the setting is in Winters Park, named after San Sebastian native Raleigh Winters. Okay, so you got Raleigh Winters is this famous guy who came from San Sebastian, so he's part of that as well. So that's why they are here in Winters Park. So that's good. Oops. Alright. Raleigh made it to a pro team. The most significant achievement of a rim dweller. Even other rim islands are huge Raleigh Winters fans because he is like the great hope for the underdogs. Alright, show the protagonist. This is how they currently see the world. Okay, this is theme integration. Show the protagonist anti-theme in action. This is him believing that Ringo is the way out. I mean, we kind of see that here. He's playing Ringo at Winters Park. It's how they currently see the world. Introduce a character or setting or detail that foreshadows the thematic conflict. Yeah, we'll do that later. That happens later in the story. But show the protagonist anti-theme in action. This is how they currently see the world. Okay. So the anti-theme in action is that you're just happy. You know, you find contentment in the good things that you have right there where you are. Like, you don't have to be in some other place to be happy, right? You don't have to be a Ringo player. Have to have something more to be happy. That's interesting. Show the protagonist anti-theme in action. maybe one player's there just to have fun. Maybe they don't take the game as seriously as the others. Perhaps one of the flyers on the opposing team yells at them. You done something more to help us win. You just sat there and watched him score. Perhaps one of the opposing team's flyers yells at them, "You could have done more to help us win. You just sat there and watched him score." What new problem forces the character to act? Well, So he thinks about this in an interesting way. What new problem forces the character to act? Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I forget I'm on camera sometimes. What new problem forces the character to act? Well, the new problem that's coming down the pipeline, but it doesn't get introduced in the first scene. This is kind of interesting. I'm having a little bit of a mental hurdle. The new problem is that rent has to be paid. So then, okay, so here's the thing that's really helping me think through stuff. So I had in mind that his mom actually owned the house, but I don't think that that really rhymes completely with the overall vibe. I think that maybe all of it belongs to Victoria, which is the kind of the penultimate Victorian, the Macarians, the extremely wealthy. So maybe all of housing is rentals. Maybe nobody owns any property, or maybe they do get to own property out on the rim. I don't know. But, so we'll say the new problem is bills have to be paid. Caden works 3 jobs. He's a dishwasher, a courier, and occasional scavenger. Okay. So he gets introduced to this idea because to help his mom and little sister. That he has to help help pay bills. Oh, he has to pay bills to help his mom and little sister. Caden works 3 jobs: dishwasher, courier, and occasional scavenger. Now, we could up the stakes and say maybe mom or little sister is sick and maybe she gets some kind of medicine. Perhaps his little sister needs medicine. It is expensive. Okay, we could do that. That would make sense and still keep all the theme flowing. How does this disruption reinforce the anti-theme? Oh yeah, definitely. Because of the financial burden, Caden naturally assumes a Ringo player's salary would not only cover expenses but set the family up and set the family free. Kind of like you feel burdened, you feel trapped, so you kind of feel like the money would set you free. Okay. Oh, sorry. How does it challenge them with a truth they're not ready to accept? Well, money doesn't solve problems. It magnifies the problems you never knew you had. So, greed, selfishness, ego. What else? Greed, selfishness, ego. Oh, I'm sorry, I keep sticking my head in frame. This is like the most messed up video. I thought I was coming here to draw today, and I just realized that somebody made a comment and told me that they didn't understand what was going on in my story, and I realized, yeah, I wouldn't even know how to explain to them in words what's going on. And so how can I better understand it for myself? And it's, one of the things that is really good to know is not to go so fast just to get something done that you don't do it right. I mean, there's a diligence aspect to this. You have to take the steps to get it set up, and eventually you do get to kind of sort through the content, and you do get to just do the artistic part of it. And I'm so eager to do that, but I don't want to shoot myself in the foot, because you can create an entire project and leave everybody in the dust, and that does no good. I want everybody who can read and understand the story to be on the journey. So I want to hear this input, and figure it out. So introduce an event or character that represents the opposing worldview. I think it's going to be Mrs. Winters. I think it's going to be Raleigh Winters' mom. I think that's who the opposing worldview is. She never left the island. She always stayed there. Even when her son was so successful and he was living in his big, homes and flourishing and thriving, even though he invited her to join the island, should be quite content. Okay, so we're going to do Mrs. Winters. Raleigh's mother. She was always content to stay on the rim. She has a little garden. She runs a little yard market. The inside of her house has I can't remember how to spell memorabilia. Memorabilia. That is not the way you spell it, but okay. With pictures of Raleigh in his youth and his rise to fame, not farm, fame, trophies, etc. Yeah, memorabilia, there you go. Boom. She runs a little yard market. She never left, even when Raleigh offered her to set her up on the mainland with everything she could ever want. She still chose a life apart from the realm of Ringo. Okay, she knew something. She knows something. Mrs. Winters understands something about the Ringo kind of culture. And she says the mainland doesn't always bring out the best in people. So that's kind of her quote. The mainland doesn't always bring out the best in people. All right, Caden is not ready to hear that yet. Okay. Caden brushes this off. He has too much to live for. He wants to taste the glory of victory and enjoy the spoils. At this point, he's pretty set on the mainland. The most anchoring, or the best anchor he has to the anti-theme, is his sister, who needs his help, not just the expensive medicine, but the relationship as well. Well, sometimes desire to play Ringo means he forgets important see. They reject the theme, show how his decision makes things harder for them, but they don't realize it yet. Well, when Caden isn't there for his sister, the weight of hurting her is significant. However, he still believes that leaving for mainland is his best chance at success. And I think it's success means trophies and accomplishments. I still believe this. This is what's so hard about writing this story, right? It's like I know that this is partially telling my story. Success means trophies and accomplishments. It's sort of like you measure those things. Like they may not be the most important thing, but you see them as having a tremendous value to you of being able to do something worthwhile and meaningful. And so you think that by earning this, that's worthwhile and meaningful. So it's quite interesting. So it's the afternoon. Success is measured in trophies and accomplishments. Maybe 3 players are there to have fun. Just spending time together. Perhaps while they put this. Alright, let's see. Resolution. How does the world respond to the character's choice? See, this is so tough because we have multiple scenes. So I don't really understand how to break this down the best way. And I'm not sure that this is affecting this portion of the story as much. So this is really weird, but it's Winter's Park. So it's going to be the official Ringo Center. Ringo Center. Ringo Center. Maybe do like equipment rentals. Hmm. Ooh. So you got equipment rental, so maybe he's flying, right? Maybe we have another wing player down here flying further down so we can see that. Maybe we see Caden right here, but we want him to be kind of small on this. Yeah, like this. So maybe that's Caden right there. Maybe so. Maybe he says plus 2 points. So maybe if we could have this to this, maybe that gives more context. Maybe she's flying around here, and then we see a bigger version of this coming together. She goes, Caden now. And he goes, 2 points, right? And maybe her little hand is right there. Say, So I got Caden, you got this. Okay. So we got Caden now. 2 points. Suckers. Stop him. I'm on it. Caden, you got this. Keep going. Okay, Caden, you got this. Keep going. So that's what he's doing. So maybe we have sling, 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 sling. Got it. So we'll have some water players down here to kind of pitch this idea. Alright, so they're down here with their crosses. They're kind of here. I may need to bring them in a little bit more and maybe take the flag out a little bit more. I might need to push it. I don't know yet. But I kind of like the idea of having the water players a little bit more in there. But hopefully that'll give it a little bit more context. I don't know. Winters Park, Ringo Center, equipment rental, sling, sling, throw, sling, 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 throw. So we do throw, sling, 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 throw. Maybe that'll make sense. Throw. Got it. Caden now 2 points. Plus 2 for blue, plus 2 for blue. Plus 2 for blue. Sucker. Okay, so now we've got some word bubbles in there. Hopefully that's making a little bit more sense. So Winters Park, we added the idea that this was a Ringo Center. We have equipment rentals. We want this to say your future is bright. Okay, or the future is bright. I'm going to turn this down. Okay. The future is bright. You can't even read that. Oh well, you will be able to in the final one because it will be evident. And we may do a nice little fancier sign. There we go. Future is bright with a little Ringo. R-I-N-G-O. Ringo. The future is bright. Okay. It's kind of fun, right? Maybe it's got a little bit of something here. There we go. Maybe there. Winters Park. The future, Ringo, the future is bright. Sling, 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 throw. Got it. Caden now. 2 points for blue. Sucker, stop it. I'm on it. Caden, you got this. Keep going. 2 points for blue. Okay, maybe that helps a little bit. So that's pretty cool. Now the next page, I'll get back to this and scan it in and do some stuff with it. This is the next page, and I don't know that I'm going to have any time to do this today, but he's going to score and they're going to win and he's got to go. I'm thinking blue scores. Alright, so he's going to have his bike. He's going to be going crazy. I'll probably redraw this page, but this kind of gives you a little bit of an idea. He's kind of flying through the air, high flying. That arm is a little bit skinny. He's not totally skin and bones. He's got a little bit of athleticism to him. Okay. Like that. Yeah, so he's flying. He's being chased. These two are kind of going at it. There's a little bit of confusion and mayhem here. Yeah, this page is going to need a lot of work to figure out all this stuff. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's going to need a ton of work. I don't know what I'm doing yet. Oh goodness, today is the day. Well, hopefully I went back and made that first 2 pages better, and then I can come back to this and crank this out. I think some of this stuff may get a little bit easier as I go. We'll see. But for now, that's about all the time I have for today. I do need to get going. But thank you so much for joining me. Hope that you had a fun time. I know it was like a weird day with a lot of typing, so not a lot of drawing today. My apologies, but kind of that was the work that had to get done. Hope you're doing great. Hope you have a great day. Until the next one.